Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm Ilani Eswick, a brand coach and messaging mentor for creative leaders who are wanting to build a brand they love and still dream big, because they absolutely can. This is a series called Your Story in Motion, and this is going to be about in the in-between space, where you find yourself, where you are dreaming of being, the work that you have done, and all the things. So let's get into it. So the in-between space you find yourself in, you have done the work. You have worked on the foundation of everything, your offer, the way you show up in your brand, how you want to exist as the creative leader that you are, the direction that you're taking, what you're bringing in, all the things that makes your brand what it is, and you the person behind it. And then there's also the personal side. So that could be getting the support that you need, also like the habits that you have, just really looking at them and trying to improve as a person, the relationships that you have, and all those things. And that prepares you for the next season that you're going towards. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to feel a little bit like stretched when the time comes to actually go into that season. You build a foundation so you can feel solid in your decisions and what you're here to do, but what moves it forward is the action that you take afterwards with all these things that you've worked through. So I want to talk about my own experience, because I feel like I'm very much in that in-between state. Not so much as I was maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago, but still there. I foundationally worked on what my brand is, who I am as a creative leader that I am, the space that I occupy, the skills that I give my clients, the support that I give them, the tools that I give them, and the offers that I bring to the table for them, and kind of like the whole vibe that I bring to their world, and not only to their world but in my world, in order to bring them to me as well. I actually journaled about this not too long ago, and I wanted to read you a piece of it because I think it talks so beautifully to the in-between state, and how it could feel like daunting and confusing and what's actually going on for you. But I do feel like that in-between state allows you to understand how you can navigate things, but also take small steps, because the action is what's really going to give you that feedback of what you can and can't do. And yes, there is time to integrate. I believe in giving yourself space to really understand things, but there is a time that you need to take action. And that's something I need to consistently remember, that not only do I need to take action, but actually I am my best when I'm taking action, when I'm able to first understand, reflect, and really ground down in what it is that I'm working on, what it is that I'm working towards, and then being myself, which is very grounding but also very energetic and action oriented. So keeping it moving at times is what the next season is actually calling you to, especially if you've reflected and integrated all the things that you've been working on. Okay, so let me read this from my journal. It's talking about this in-between state, but also like my purpose. And this is a bit honest, a little bit, I guess you could say, vulnerable, but I wanted to still share it with you. Okay, so I believe my purpose is to be an example of what being free is like. And it's ironic because I'm always seeking a sense of freedom. What's going after the things you want are, and how the things not only exist as dreams but can truly manifest. I believe part of that purpose is also about creating a life I don't need to run away from or feeling trapped by, creating a life that teaches me how to be and surrender to what is, purpose rooted in the bold and beautiful. If I'm being totally honest, right now I'm not living my purpose. I'm halfway there in the in-between state, trying my hardest to trust the unfolding and fighting with old surviving patterns being triggered. And I deeply feel that I'm at the very beginning of doing my purpose work outwardly. I'm living it almost fully, but not full on yet. But what's next? Continue chipping away at my fears, the ones that keep me to myself, the ones that make me hold my breath. And that's the very best version of what me can do today. The version of me that stops holding her breath to be fully known. And I think a great example of what I am doing in this in-between state for my brand and my business is really leaning into the ways I can express myself most, the ways that I can actually get out there, get my message out there, and the way I interact with others and the communities that I put myself in. Not only the one I'm calling in for my own self, but also the ones I put myself in, because that also feeds into the next season, or just like the growth of whatever it is that you're working towards. And a lot of the things that I guess you could say I'm chipping away at my fears, like I started this YouTube channel, and I'm here sharing my voice in this way, an idea that's been in my head for a really, really long time, that I was just like, this just needs to exist. And the starting point is the series Your Story in Motion, which is so near and dear to me. But what I am also doing in addition to that is really taking this form of expression that's more like vulnerable, more honest, and really utilizing my Substack, which is called The Cornerstone. I have a series over there too called Musings, where it really fuels fire and resonance, and has oracle energy reading for each piece, and it goes out consistently. And I think you should check it out, because it's really something that I love being able to create and being able to like move forward in. But other things too is just the ideas that I have in my head, just go ahead and do it. Also working on my visibility strategy, kind of gaining more or taking steps that allows me to gain more visibility in many different ways, in person, online, and any other way that I could do it. I think it's very important to sometimes do the things that come into your head often, like your ideas, because those ideas aren't there just for the sake of like, oh, I know how to come out with great ideas. No, I feel like your ideas want you to take action. And the moment you're able to listen and tune into that relationship that you have with your ideas, and taking action, or taking a step back, or integrating and then taking action, or figuring out what to do next, the easier it is to like feel unstuck. It is a journey. It is something you need to learn for your own self in terms of like what works for you. But the only way that I feel like will really get you to that next stage, and maybe out of the in-between state so much, is reflecting, knowing yourself, also integrating that experience, that knowledge, and then taking action with those ideas that come up in your head. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening here. Please subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this, and just to honestly continue the journey. Thank you so, so much. And stay tuned for the next video in the Your Story in Motion series.